Hello everybody. Thank you. My name is Jean-Baptiste. I'm the founder of Maplab, and I would like to ask you first a question. Do you think employees will be able to go to work tomorrow? This question, I ask it because we know that 40% of employees of car users will have to change their car because of lower emission zones, and because mobility cost is increasing dramatically, and because a large set of employees would like to change their work in order to reduce their commuting trips. So that's massive. But I have good news. There are many solutions. Many. But the problem is that it doesn't always suit with the specificity of the company, and because of the size, because of the sector, because of the location, and in order to suit the good solution with the specificity of the company, there is no miracle approach. You need to diagnose, we need to anticipate, you need to act, you need to evaluate. And to do it, we have developed the platform Maplab, which is a SaaS platform which will allows you to make a diagnosis of commuting trips, on professional trips, on health, CO2 emissions, travel costs, but also travel times. But the idea on the strength of the platform is to make simulations, to make forecasts of what would happen if you change the workplace of employee, if you change the working hours of a company for employees, or if you change their travel modes. And when you get the good strategy, it's easy to set up the action plan that we do with Maplab. The interest is that there are many use cases with this platform, going from location choice up to job swapping, but also to set up mobility plans. We have Maplab expertise has been approved by more than has been approved by almost 30 companies, and the good news is that the tool is already usable on international market, especially in Europe and in North America. The second good news is that we collect the data at the company level, but what we would like to do after is to gather this data to help local authorities, to gather it at territorial level, to help local authorities to manage their public policies. But to do it, we are looking for funds, and so we need your support, we need you. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, thank you. You would have 15 seconds left even, but even better. The man's on time. Very good, thank you for the work that you do. Next up is Léon de Pentuis with uMotion.
Thank you. So good afternoon, I'm Nicolas Gourceau, founder of uMotion. We make gentle vehicles for livable cities. So by vehicle we mean vans. Why vans? Because there are vans everywhere around us, and they're all diesel. And you know they're polluting, and we need to replace them. The issue is, at the current replacement rate, they're all going to be electric by 2630. And we have less than 10 years to make it happen. The good thing is, the major players are all committed to it, with an investment level never seen before. So, why people are still buying 90% diesel, and especially the fleet manager? Because simply, there is no viable alternative. Let me explain. First, you want a cleaner petrol van? Well, it's going to be banned anyway. You want cargo bags? Yeah, sure, but you need 3 times vehicle more, plus 3 drivers, plus expensive urban warehouse. Electric van? Sure, good idea, if you find one. If you pay 3 times the price of a diesel van, and if you forget about the residual value after a few years because of the battery wear out. I know this because I've been working 20 years at Stellantis, where I founded and managed the electric department over the last years. So, no solution until now, because at uMotion, we started over from the customer need. What do we need to carry parcel into the city? 150 km/h max speed, 2 tons vehicle to carry 1 ton, fast acceleration between 2 red lights? No. We need a reliable, affordable green van, and that's why we make it. The VIKE, the green van at a cargo bike cost. So the VIKE is a van, only lighter and more efficient. It can carry up to 1 ton, 12 cubic meters on a urban highway. With its battery modular module, you can swap it in seconds, removing the charging time. And of course, the bike is greener, well greener than an e-van, divided by 5 the CO2 emission, and also emitting almost no fine particles from brake or tires. Finally, the bike is really affordable, with a starting price of 20 €20. So, what's next? Well, everything. We have patented technology, we have best team, we have qualified partner for the key technology, a clear industrial map with industrial giants backing up, and amazing investor team like the founder of Nickel and Exotech. First order are coming in, so please join us. Let's get started. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. He's very convinced, and it looks like he's got reason to be. Do you mind passing the device? Thank you so much. Next up is Benjamin Persiani from Avatar Mobilite.
Thank you. Hello. Very nice to be here. Thank you very much. I'm a bit egocentric, so I will speak about myself. My name is Benjamin. I'm a father of 3 children, generally lovely. I live in Saint-Galmier, which is a small city 20 kilometers away from Saint-Etienne, and I work in Saint-Etienne. Of course, where I live, the local transportation, public transportation is not really good. And another problem comes when Saint-Etienne decided to join the team of the 250 cities that will ban, for any reason that I don't really understand, the old cars. So I've got to change my car for an electric one, probably, but of course, it's too expensive. The good solution is that, the good news is that it's not a problem, because in fact I don't really need a big car. I need a solution that's safe enough for my daily needs. That's why we created a very small car, very frugal car, that's less than 400 kilograms, that can carry 4 people on 150 kilometers at up to 90 kilometers per hour. Everything is based on frugality. We've changed the system. Normally a car is more than 30,000 pieces, and we've only less than 200 pieces with multifunctional pieces. This was possible because Frédéric Mourier, our creator, founder, is an industrial designer. He's been working for 25 years in all mobilities, and he all applied to this terrestrial mobility. We are accompanied by a board with senior experts from the automotive industry, like Frédéric Charon, which is the CEO of the Société des Ingénieurs Automobiles and technical designer for Forvia. We've got several partners. I won't go into details, but for example, we are working on the swappable batteries with Platicomnium, because we think, as they did before, that it's really a need for the ease of use for everybody. Everything gives us a unique flexibility, and that's what convinced some great companies to test our vehicle and pre-order our vehicle. That's why, even if you understood that our long-term market is the households, we're focusing first on corporates and local authorities, also because they think in total cost of ownership, where we've got already an advantage even at a higher price to start with. We are scalable because we only work through microfactories, and we have just to finish the vehicle. We've got a prototype today, and we've got to be on the market in 2 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just like with everyone, for everyone's sake, I wish you all the best and much success with your venture. Very interesting and exciting innovation. Laura Wagner is next and last. So here you go.
Thank you.
Your time to shine.
Thank you. I can't hear myself.
Could be it's not on.
Can you hear myself? me. Okay, thank you. Does it work? I can't. Okay. Our mission is to go from the before situation on the gray left part with daily commuting that are not optimized to the right situation that is optimized. Whoops. Let's do it. I'm Laure Wagner. I worked for the Ministère de l'Écologie and then 11 years for BlaBlaCar. I was the first employee at BlaBlaCar. And I founded 1 km à pied in 2020. And I'm also a co-author and animator of La Fresque de la Mobilité. And so I will share with you key figures to understand commuting issues. As you can see, the red figure, 13 kilometers, it's the average distance for commuters in France. It's very distant. It's too distant so that everyone is already able to cycle to work. Just to know, in green, it's the average distance by cyclists today. So my point is to reduce distance because it's because of the distance that 72.5% of workers still commute by car. So how can we reduce distances? Just so you know, 74% of workers are field workers. They won't be able to work from home, so they still have to commute every day. So it's important to do something for them. And 45% of employees in France, and it's the case in every developed country and elsewhere, work for multi-site employers. We already work for Auchan, Carrefour, Lidl, Sodexo, but there are 1,200 public and private multi-site employers in France. So for them, we created a job exchange SaaS solution to enhance internal geographical mobility. Basically, we read the HR file, we developed an automated diagnosis, and we provide features to manage thousands of job exchange. Like this, on the left, you can see when a position is open in the company, instead of hiring outside of the company, they first have a look internally if there is not a current employee who could be super happy to get this job because it's closer to his home. Or the second situation on the right, you can see all the employees who have an opportunity internally, and it's a lot to find opportunities for them. They can access the list and then opportunities. So we already have 80 clients, and what we discovered is huge because 65% of their employees do have a closer site from their home, and the average gain is 10 kilometers morning and evening. Like Mehdi, Point P, which is a client of us, transferred him closer to his home for this impact. And we free 40 minutes per day to get a better life. And we make people happy while reducing climate and energy threats. And sorry.
Last sentence.
Thank you.
Or last word. Thank
Sorry,
you. And you can stay with us. I think it's not turned on. You will need it for the Q&A. So okay. Yeah. Thank you. And just like last time, I would like to ask the changemakers who have pitched already to join me on stage. And Laure, you can also stay with us. Can you check the back of the device?
It worked when I was there, but it didn't work when I was there.
Try it now. Try now. Maybe the sensor was blocked. Yeah. Okay. You know the deal. 8 minutes. Fire away.
Thank you, everyone. My question is for uMotion. How did you manage to lower the price, and do you need certification to go to market and to sell your cars?
Very good question, thank you. On the price, it's simple. So today, battery electric vehicle have the name on battery, so you pay half price for the battery. So we just adapt the right size battery for our customer. Secondly, on the certification, it's ongoing. So we have split the roadmap in 3 to have each time, at the right time, 3 products that we can sell without, let's say, delay. So we take it into account.
I have a quick question both to, let's see, Maplab and 1 kilometer. How can you gather evidence that your software actually has an impact? What's the feedback loop on that to show any kind of actual environmental impact?
Sorry, it doesn't work. It's hard for me. Basically, we count every mobility, internal mobility. So each time someone like Mehdi is relocated on a site closer to his home, we count like 10 kilometers morning and evening times 218 days per year, and you have the savings. And it's a lot of, it's hundreds of employees that are getting an internal mobility.
Yeah, basically what we do is that every year we, or more often if necessary, we make a new diagnosis in order to see, to measure the different impact of every trips. And then what we can do is using a mobile app that we provide to the employee, in which he can display all the trips he's doing during the week, and then based on that we can have a good measure.
Thank you for the nice presentation. A question for Avatar Mobility. I like the frugal cars concept. I'm curious about your industrialization strategy, mass production, and I have a discussion with uMotion on the cargo bikes, because I think you should be. It's amazing how much kilogram you can, but afterwards we can have a discussion on that. Yeah.
So our industrialization strategy, I didn't have much time to speak about, but we'll assemble the vehicle in microfactories. We're just getting the pieces from our subcontractors. We've already the partnership with Arpro, which is the main producer of EPP, which is our key material, in fact. Then we'll display the microfactories over the and so really it's low industrial sites because it's only assembly, and that's why it's interesting to do it as microassembly, because we don't really have a gain in getting a gigafactory with such processes. And sorry, I'm not sure I did really understand the question, reply the question. In fact, industrialization we're working on with Start2Prod, which is the subsidiary of Michelin.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have a question for you on Maplab. Can you tell us a bit more about how to accomplish your vision with the cities? What is the minimum critical size you need to reach in terms of data?
Okay. Yeah. I think if we want to get to this situation, there are two levels to reach, because for sure all companies won't use the tool to make the diagnosis. Let's be realistic. So what we need is to be able to use the modeling of data. We have pretty good statistics in France, and to make the best model in order to measure the impact of companies who do not make this diagnosis, but also to use the data as we can collect. And this will allow us to enrich the model. So it's I can't say I have a figure, let's say 80, 60, 40% of data to be collected to be sure that the level of information will be the best. At some point, 30% or even 20% can be sufficient because it's very representative, but at some point it's not, so you need more data. Sorry for the...
Thank you very much for these pitches. I would have a question for you, Laure. I'm wondering about the willingness to pay from the customers, and for example, how much carbon can you avoid? Can your customer avoid with your solution, for example?
It's not their point. They want to reduce absenteeism and turnover, and they don't care about climate. So it's not a question for them. Really, the third thing is that they want to improve their pouvoir d'achat, because it reduces the employees' cost, automobile cost. So it's a way to help them save money instead of increasing their incomes.
I actually had the same question for Laure, so I'm going to switch to you, if I may. You mentioned same payload or comparable payload to sort of the status quo at 50% of the weight. Can you provide a little bit more detail on that? Because that seems like a sort of step change.
So you mean transporting the same payload but with half
Correct.
Yeah. So basically we optimize powertrain architecture, electric architecture, and it's all about having the right size for these needs, because currently all OEMs are providing standards platform for, let's say, particular transportation, and nothing is really made for the transportation itself. So we really design it this way, and that's why it's optimized and we can save weight.
Thank you very much, everybody, for your pitches. Maybe one more question for Avatar. Can you explain us very quickly how do you ensure the safety of your future passengers?
Well, to ensure the safety, first thing we've done models, of course, crash tests, numerical, digital crash tests, sorry. We'll do the real crash tests even if it's not mandatory for our category, because we need to show, of course, to reinsure people on that, because when they see something that seems very frugal, they will not be by themselves. They will not be sure to give us their confidence. So we'll do the crash test for the vehicle.
Thank you.
Wonderful, and we're at the end of the time again. I would love to ask the audience for a round of applause to our wonderful change makers. Thank you for pitching. Much success with your work, and we will certainly follow all your steps in the future.